Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, B-Rad.
You don't need to put that in the Panthers, but.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
So, Brett, when you look at this as the guy who crafts plays, and you look at the last 2 weeks, and Bryce is moved down a peg on the depth chart, what responsibility do you guys as an offensive staff take when a guy is kind of demoted and you have to make a change?
I think we always look at it from the team perspective, what we're trying to build culturally and what we're trying to build schematically for the whole group, who we have at every position, and what advantage we have going against the current defense we're going against. And I wear a lot of that on my shoulders going home and watching the tape at night, and then I know all the coaches do when we watch it, and we do a lot of self-evaluation just like the players do, just like we ask them to do on Mondays. Come in and watch a tape and be critical of their fundamentals, their technique, what we're asking them to do, and their routes and their run blocking, their pass blocking, and everything. Well, for the scheme, we do the same thing as coaches. So we're very self-critical on that, and we're just trying to take steps and making sure we're putting the guys in position to make plays.
Andy, obviously, it's seen basically everything in the league. I mean, when you guys are going over game plans, how much is it like coaching a coach, I guess, in that aspect, where he can kind of give you feedback as well?
Yeah, I don't think it just stems with Andy. You're always trying to figure out who your players are, especially in the quarterback room. You're trying to figure out, what makes them tick, what they're comfortable with, how they see a read. A lot of times you want them to just voice, okay, hey, here's the play we're presenting, here's our why, but tell us how you would go through this. Tell us what defense you'd like to attack with this, or whatever the specifics are with a game, a certain play that we're presenting to him. And yeah, when he's got a myriad of experience against a bunch of different coordinators, a bunch of different schemes defensively, he's quick to click into some of those memories because they're solidified with reps. For us, that helps. It speeds up some process of those conversations, but it's not just with him. We do that with everyone. We do that with wideouts, trying to reach them. Like, hey, this route is like what you ran at Ole Miss. This route is like what you ran, wherever you were last. And then we try to pull, we'll pull clips from the guys doing it successfully, whether it's in the spring, whether it's in training camp or the previous years. And you're always trying to apply, make that connection for them. If this is what we're trying to accomplish. This is how we think the technique will apply in this, this certain play call. And here's an example of you or somebody else doing it correctly.
That being said, how much Bengals, Saints tape have you gone back and watched over the past few days?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good carryover there, but it's like a combination. I know Dave's already hit on it. It's a combination of a lot of experienced defensive coaches. So you really got to hone in on the last 2 weeks too. I'm saying, okay, regular season ball, who are they trying to push to be, on the Las Vegas Raiders right now, with a new head coach at the helm, and they've shown a lot, right? There's a lot of variety, so that for us, makes us focus more on ourselves. Hey, if they're going to show a lot, we got to be tuned into where we need to be, when we need to be there, and what technique we need to use to get there.
Sorry, I asked that wrong. I meant, how much have you gone back and watched any of Andy's tape?
Yeah, for Andy, yeah. And I've been watching his tape for a while. Obviously, last year's game, coming in, first week on the job, you watch all the games, you take it in. But, yeah, he's a guy who's got experience in a lot of different systems. So I don't think you limit him to just what he's done in the last couple of years, but he's really touched on a lot of different things.
Where was, before the season, everybody was talking about, well, not everybody, but you guys were talking great about what Bryce did in that one drive in the preseason game, and all the attributes he showed, especially on that fourth down play. What happened in between there? Where did you see the confidence level from that play or that series to what you saw on Sunday?
Yeah, again, I'll point to the whole offense. We're just trying to create confidence for our whole group. We thought we took a step this week in the run game and up front. They thought they did a phenomenal job playing physical. And then we just got to be better on third down as a group. So the confidence will come from us executing the plays, us putting the guys in position and getting them, the right plays against the defense we're going against. And I don't limit it to just one player. It's the confidence of the whole group. And I firmly believe that, and that's what I'm preaching in front of the guys, and we're trying to hold up a standard and just continue to push that envelope every week.
how much do you feel like confidence played a role in Bryce being benched?
For us, we're just trying to continue to build this thing out the way we know we need to for the whole group. Like I don't want to focus on one player. Dave doesn't operate that way. I don't, and none of our coaches do. We're truly trying to piece it together as a 1/11th, and no man's greater than the sum of their parts. Like we need every single guy to operate together.
I understand that, but I mean, the quarterback's going to get the focus, you know that. So, I mean, and Bryce got to take responsibility for some of it, not all of it. But how much was on him?
Yeah, again, like he's the confidence wanes in the whole group when we're not executing at a high level. So I just truly think it's all pieced together, and yeah, it's always heightened when you're in the quarterback position. So we put a lot of weight on their shoulders to execute and to see things that other guys don't necessarily have to clue into. But again, it's an offensive thing as a group, as a coaching staff, and as a unit that we all need to up our confidence, which will come from reps, and which we've gotten great reps yesterday. We're going to get great reps today, and finding the great mix of you're working with your individual coaches versus working with a group, so we can continue to build those bridges between the position rooms. Like that's a huge piece too, is just tying it all together as a group, right? By bringing the group in together when they need to hear something about a play call that ties it all in together. This is the why. Like we need to do a little bit more of that, and that's kind of what we're focusing on right now, tying it all together rather than just focusing on one individual.
Tracy mentioned Felipe as somebody whose athleticism has stood out on special teams. He's still kind of learning a new position on offense as well, but what have you seen from him?
Oh, he brings a spark, right? Like every time he's out there, he plays like it's his last play. Like he embodies a lot of just the go after it mentality that we want from all of our guys. Like really proud of like the leaps and bounds, him coming in late and just trying to pick up the system, and he knows he'll stick his neck out there for anyone on his team, and it goes late into the fourth quarter, whether it's preseason or regular season. He's done that, snap in and snap out, and I'm really proud of him.
Brad, the interior offensive line the last 2 weeks played very, very well. When you, as a guy who's writing the script or helping write the script for the offense, knowing that somebody is able to step up in the pocket, how much more helpful is that to you when you figure out which concepts you want to use for a specific game in your game plan?
Yeah, I don't. Again, we preach on Will works our guys stepping up in the pocket, all three of them, our quarterbacks. So we're preaching that for all of our guys, and I think they all have the ability to do that. And we're really excited about the three interior guys and the tackles, the progress they've made. So yeah, we'll continue to build concepts that work the middle of the field. We're not going to ever section it out to a certain part of the field of what we're trying to attack. It's what the defense gives us, what's the right scheme for that, and the guys up front are playing a huge role in just getting that stuff off the ground by giving us time.
Speaking of the opposing defense, one of the playmakers you'll see this week, the reigning AFC Defensive Player of the Week. How do you counter what Max Crosby does?
You just got to account for him. I don't think there's any secret there. He's one of the best. He's relentless. One of the first questions you ask, the scouts come in, hey, when does this guy come off the field? Is there a chance that we can, sit back there a little bit and take a little bit of a breath when he's off the field? No, he doesn't come off the field. So he's played 100% of their snaps this year. I think he played like 95 last year, and he goes balls to the wall every single snap. So yeah, he's just someone you have to account for, but at the same time, you can't get out of the scheme and what we're trying to do. It's just, again, you got to look at yourself as a player when you're going up against him and just trust your fundamentals that much more, because he will take advantage anytime you get outside the framework of your block, anytime you overset or anything like that. He's looking for those advantages, so you just have to continue to just trust your fundamentals and play true to your help.
You referenced the scheme. I'm curious, when there is a QB change, knowing that there's been an investment of time in highlighting some of the things that Bryce does versus now perhaps that approach with Andy, how do you approach highlighting what Andy Dalton does when there is a change in season?
Again, he's got a lot of experience in a lot of different systems, but we're still trying to establish something that starts with the run game. It starts up front, and then everything kind of builds off of that. So we took a huge step last week in establishing the run. Now we got to take a huge step on third downs and completing the ball. So some of the things that come off the marriage of that, we get a couple more third downs. We get to open up some of the marriage with the run and pass off of that. So I truly think it's executing execution on third downs, extends our drives, keeps our defense off the field, and allows us to get to some of that other stuff that we really want to get to, no matter who's playing quarterback.
When you have a player like Max Crosby who does play basically every snap, how much more important is it to hone in on the blocking technique with the running backs and the tight ends to help in that regard? Yeah,
I think for us, we do it with our play call. We'll do it with how we design certain help on certain plays when we can predict where he's at. For them, like, we don't want them, again, to be outside of their tech. Anytime you over try, I'll give you the example on, when he knows a chip is coming, like, he is one of the best when it comes to gaming back inside, right? So if you over try, if you over chip, you're going to accelerate one of the best players into a really, fast game, and it's going to be really hard on the guard and the tackle to pass it off. So using our technique that we coach, right? We need to do it the same way we've been coaching them. I don't want to give all the secrets away of how we get that done, but just so guys know, I'm trusting my help here, but also anticipating when we give certain looks, we expect him to react a certain way.
Anyone for Coach? All right, thanks.
Cool. Thanks, guys.